St. Paul's School of Theology, Methodist school in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, was looking for a new president. And many hundreds of people applied for this job. And the search committee reduced it to 5 very, very qualified men. And then one of the committee members had an idea in trying to help narrow down the field. Why don't we send someone from our institution to all of the places where these 5 are and have that person interview the janitor or a janitor and see what they have to say. One janitor spoke so high about James McElvaney that the committee hired him as the new president of St. Paul's School of Theology. You see, some people are so sure and so close to Christ's love that they don't look through the eyes to see people of rank or prestige or power. These people treat governors and janitors all the same because they're so secure in Christ's love. Children do it instinctively. Adult Christians have to relearn it. I ask you, Elon students, how many janitors' names do you know? How many landscape people's names do you know? How many Aramark employees, food employees' names do you know? And do you treat them the way you would treat President Leo Lambert? A good question. We live in a very competitive world, don't we? It's dog eat dog sometimes. And you know the expressions, look out for number 1, have it your way, get to the top no matter what, be the boss, be the best, have the most toys and you win. That's the mentality of the world that somehow creeps into our hearts and into our thinking. So much so that when elderly parents of a family die, the children are fighting for who gets the most money or the most things. Business partners turn on one another to get ahead. Presidential candidates lie in order to win an election. It happens in our world because that's somehow the way of the world. It's not the way of the gospel. It's not the way of Jesus. In our gospel today, Jesus, for the second time, is telling his disciples about his upcoming passion, suffering, and death. Second time, not the first time. And Mark says they didn't understand. I think they understood quite well. They knew he was going to die. They're wondering which of them is going to be in charge. Which of one of them is going to take over. And when Jesus asks them, what were you arguing about on the way? Silence. Silence. Because isn't it true about ourselves when our inner motives that aren't so good are revealed? We're not very happy, right? When someone breaks through our facade, we're not very proud. We're embarrassed. They were embarrassed. They went silent. And Jesus knew what they were talking about. Power, prestige. And he brings a child into their midst and says, if you want to be number 1, be like this child. Look to be of service more than being great and thought highly of by others. In other words, get on your hands and knees and do something for someone else, rather than have some people say, oh, look how wonderful you are. That's all about service. I was going by the Methodist Church on Front Street yesterday, and there's a big plaque over their front door. It says, enter here to worship, depart to serve. Service is not just about the Methodist Church, it's about every Christian denomination. Service is important. Do you remember when you were going through your confirmation preparation? Service was a component, right? You had to put in so many service hours in order to get confirmed. Those service hours weren't some hoop you had to jump through to get confirmed. Those were the first service hours you were going to perform for the rest of your lives. Hopefully, service is a component of Christianity. Here at CCM, there are so many opportunities throughout the week to serve, if you like. Jordan has a session tonight right after Mass if you would like to serve as a greeter, a Eucharistic minister, or a lector at Mass. We have a Sunday night supper tonight right after Mass in the new parish center right next door. There's going to be a poster there talking about our upcoming fall break service trip, an alternative trip rather than go home or go somewhere fun. I'm sure it'll be fun, but it just will be service with others in community. A wonderful opportunity to serve. Throughout the week, we have a nursing home. We have so many things you can plug in to serve. But service can be done right here on campus as well. When you're willing to look at everyone as a VIP, same plane. You look at everybody as equal to you, and you would be willing to serve even the least. I Googled children's qualities today. You like Google as much as I do? I absolutely love Google. Here's what I got. Children are open, curious, they ask a lot of questions, trusting, reverent, wondering, they live in the present, they have no concerns about money or being cool or being respected. There are no limits to their imagination. They play and lose themselves in play. They create with abandon. I'm going to add two more to that. Children are also innocent. They're obedient as well. And last but not least, they're insignificant. That's one I'd like to capitalize on tonight. Insignificant. We need to learn to be like children and be insignificant. That we can understand that all of us are created equal. All of us are treated the same and offered God's unconditional love each and every day, even when we're not being virtuous, even when we're sinning. God's unconditional love is being given to us. If we could see others with those eyes of insignificance, we will be true followers of Jesus. If we see ourselves as people who are willing to lay down our lives in service for our insignificant brothers and sisters like ourselves, we will be better disciples of Jesus. If you want to think about this list a little bit, you might find one of these qualities you would like to try and make you